I'm on the football field of Palatine High School. It's halftime, and I'm in the marching band. Now, we have actually concluded our halftime performance. We've played, let's say, three, four songs, and there's still about 5 minutes to kill. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe it was two. Doesn't matter. All I know is that there's no more music to play, and I am bored. I am bored because I like to do things and be active. I don't want to just stand around. But when you're done playing three or four halftime songs for the crowd at a football game in the Chicago suburbs, once you're done, you wait and you stand there in a tunnel so that the football team can run through and the crowd can go crazy. But like I said, I'm bored. And so is one of my friends, Jeff Larson. So we launch into a quick brainstorm strategy, which is what can we use this quote unquote dead time for? And Jeff and I hatch a plan right there in the moment. We leave our positions, right? I could see the band director losing her mind. And we run from the middle of the marching band tunnel down to one of the end zones. What are the boys going to do? Mrs. Horn thinks. And in that moment, Jeff and I disrobe down to our boxers. This story is real, by the way. And Jeff lays on the ground, kicks his legs up to me. I grab his legs at the ankles. He grabs my legs at the ankles. And if you can visualize this, right? We're like a human sort of like, oh, I don't know, rectangle, let's say, whatever. But we start to somersault from one end zone all the way down 100 yards to the next end zone. I'm dizzy. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and somehow I hold it all in. And you know what? Jeff looks at me, I look at him, and we grab each other's ankles and we do it again, and the crowd goes crazy again. Miss Horn is losing her mind, but the crowd's losing their mind. Our peers in the tunnel are losing their mind. And we get back, we put our clothes back on. Somehow we're not arrested, we're not suspended. We go back into position in the marching band tunnel, and boom, the football team arrives, runs through the tunnel, and it's a huge success. I'm telling you that story because it was an example of confidence, right? I had the confidence, Jeff had the confidence that we can do this, have a lot of fun. Somehow we were going to survive. Maybe it was stupidity. I don't know. But today, what I want to talk to you about is actually confidence. And I want to just teach three quick things that you can do to bolster, to boost your confidence as you head into next year. Now, the reason I'm creating this content is really because I've seen a number of new Digital Danny users come in and new applications to the mastermind. And often I'll ask people, I call, right? When you sign up, hey, is everything going okay? You getting logged in, got any questions or mastermind wise, you know, same type of thing when you want to start, da 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 da. And I love to ask, why now? Why us? Why me? Right? And what I've learned from asking that question, at least recently, there are a number of school leaders working on their confidence. It's hard to admit out there in public, probably nobody does, right? That I don't know if I can do it. I definitely don't have the answers. Do I have the support? You know, there's a variety of reasons we might not believe in ourselves. So let's talk about three ways you can build your confidence. This first way I've taught before many times live within the mastermind on this podcast. But as Zig Ziglar said, the great motivational speaker, repetition is the mother of learning. So I want you to do the EPS journal. It takes 90 seconds. I'm going to prove it. I should actually time it. Let me pull up my clock and we'll see if I am telling the truth or lying. So 90 seconds on the clock. I'll show you. Here we go. 90 seconds. Boom. So EPS stands for effort, progress, success. E is for effort. And the first thing I want you to reflect on in journal is, where did you put in effort today? If I think about my day and where I put in effort, I can answer this quite simply. When I woke up this morning and did my morning routine, now I'm having my coffee. I wrote chapter 2 of a new fiction book that's not even school leadership related, but I got chapter 2 done, and I like it. It made me laugh. There's jokes in there. There's funny moments, and so I'm liking the shape that it's moving in. So E, that's all I'm going to put for effort. P would be progress. Where did we see progress? Today I saw progress. I had a individual call with one of the mastermind coaches, Gene Park, amazing, amazing coach. And we were talking about how to integrate Pat Lencioni's working geniuses into the mastermind. And that's in preparation for a mastermind coach strategic session that we're going to have pretty soon. And so I just like the momentum we're experiencing there. S is for success. Where did I experience success? And I could easily say I recorded an episode with Katie, a leader, school leader in Colorado, and she has had many wonderful insights that we're going to share on this feed. Boom, 122, less than 90 seconds. I added even a bit of context to that reflection. And here's the lesson: you can do this quickly. It's a simple framework. And think about it, when you build into your end of day routine, doing the 90-second EPS journal, what you build is a personal highlight reel. This matters because we have dark days. We have times where we doubt ourselves. We have times when staff, students, parents, whoever, they say some stuff and right, the air is taken out a little bit. When you do the EPS journal and you have this sort of running record of all of your amazingness, all the things that you've done that make you a legend, a ruckus maker, that combats the times of self doubt, right? So for a 90-second a day investment, this will have exponential benefit. I think that's, no, I have one more thing to say. Credit where credit's due. This comes from the book, The Confident Mind by Dr. Nate Zinsser, if I'm remembering correctly. But I've taught this journal technique a lot. So do the EPS journal. We'll move on. That's all I have to say about that one. Number two, I want you to watch the language that you use, right? So often we say things that self-sabotage, that attack our confidence, that make us sound weak in front of other people. I'm as guilty as everyone. But what I want you to note is just like watch those words as they come out of your mouth and the impact that they have, not just on your people. Like, yes, reflect on that, be mindful of that, but watch how your words impact you. I was recording actually yesterday with another school leader, a guy who actually has come through the mastermind, has worked with me one on one. He's now one of the top digital Danny users. And he was talking about the other day, you'll hear it in the episode, but he was talking to a colleague and basically said, this campus, it's just some place that I work. I'm not that passionate this year. Oh my gosh. He said that in public, right? To a staff member. And he knew something was wrong the minute he said it. And he knew something had to change. And so he got to work on that. And that's a whole other story. But the point, the lesson I'm trying to drive home here is that he had the awareness, the mindfulness to notice that something was off. So here's some phrases, categories and phrases, things that you might be watching out for. There's phrases that deflect responsibility. Things like, that's just how it's always been done. I don't have time for that. The district won't let me. Okay. Phrases that diminish your authority. I'm just a principal. I don't take my word for it. I'm not really an expert on this, right? So be careful watching these type of things. Phrases that express doubt or heck. This probably won't work, but what if this fails? I'm probably overthinking this. Phrases that blame external forces. If only my teachers, parents, students were more whatever, fill in the blank, committed, responsive, et cetera, et cetera. If the district gave us better support, my staff is just not willing to dot, dot, dot. And the last category, phrases that minimize impact. It's just one small change. My voice doesn't really matter. I shouldn't rock the boat. So if you catch yourself saying any of these type of things, be mindful of that because you're actually working against building your confidence. You're actually eroding it. So be mindful, make a change. Even more powerfully, correct those things in the moment. Like if you catch yourself, oh, I'm just a principal. Wait, and you can even say, oh, I heard Danny talk on the Better Leaders, Better Schools podcast. I shouldn't say I'm just a principal. Let me retry that. I'm a principal and I know what I'm doing, right? You can trust me. So think about how you want to rephrase or whatever, but you catch it in the moment. And I think that's all I want to say about number two. So we've done the EPS journal. We've done thinking about self-sabotaging language. Now, those are two things you can start doing right away. I want to give you one thing to stop doing immediately. Stop leading, and I bet you could fill in the blank with me, in isolation. Why do people do this? It makes no sense to me. Yes, I run Better Leaders, Better Schools. We have different opportunities for leadership development and what I call self mentorship, right? You have big visions, big ideas. We like to come alongside and help you figure out how to make those things a reality. So, yeah, I do have a stake in this game. But believe it or not, mm, I can't say it doesn't matter to me that you don't work with us, but I'm big enough and confident enough to understand there's a million different places that support school leaders. And I can say with integrity, if it's not Better Leaders, Better Schools, get connected somewhere. This job is just way too hard. It demands way too much of you as an individual to do it alone. Plus, doing it alone is stupid. Like, literally, you're not going to have the best ideas. Despite what AI might tell you, like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, all your ideas are not brilliant. And usually that first idea is half baked and you have to like iterate on it, right? To develop it and make it better, to create that campus experience that's worth showing up for, to do school different, to be on that self mentorship journey and get to the places where you want to go. In order to do that, you need community. So if it's not us, that's okay, but get connected somewhere. You deserve it, right? Over my shoulder, if you're watching the video, and you've heard me say this a million times, right? But when you get better, everybody wins. That's the motto of Better Leaders, Better Schools. When you get better, everyone wins. And the best way for you to get better is to get connected and stop doing leadership alone. Even if you have an admin team, especially if you don't, but even if you have an admin team, even if you have district support, because we all can operate within these sort of bubbles or have fishbowl thinking the way we do things here, right? Well, a district across state lines or around the world, they might have a different way of doing it, different point of view, different approach that you can still adapt, revise, edit, and make, apply it to your context to get the results that you're looking for. So just don't do it alone. Last thing I want to say here in closing. So we've done the EPS journal. We've done watch the language that you use. We talked about stop doing it alone. I just want to present, a couple options for you that we do have because I am seeing so many people start using Digital Danny and apply the mastermind currently in the summer of 2026, right? There's three ways. Digital Danny, so go to myprincipalcoach.com. If you don't know what he is my AI clone that I've trained. Now, I don't want to make this a long episode. He is totally different than Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT. They're not even in the same sort of category of AI and LLMs. That's a different conversation. Go to myprincipalcoach.com if you want to understand that difference. But the biggest one that I should say right now is that he is only trained on podcasts, books, one on one coaching transcripts, mastermind sessions, the frameworks and tools that I've created. He's not connected to the internet. He doesn't hallucinate. He says when he doesn't know the answer, and he doesn't always say that you're brilliant. Imagine that. He's a thinking partner and your self mentorship guide. 10 plus years of supporting school leaders just like you, available 24/7, always there. He evolves with you because he grows as you put more data in and he never ever forgets. So myprincipalcoach.com, super accessible. It's $100 for 90 days. $350 for the year. I'm sure those prices will go up at some point, but right now that's the launch sort of pricing. Then there's the Mastermind, right? I've spoken about that a million times, but where else, literally, point to me a place in the world where you get weekly support, peer mentorship, where we dive deep on school leadership and there's no curriculum. The only thing that matters is you. What are you doing? Katie, Demetrius, Jonathan, what do you want to see on your campus? How do you want to create that experience that's worth showing up for? And then we come alongside of you and help you make that vision happen. Plus, since it's a community experience, you get to see how other school leaders think about school leadership, how they approach problems. And that's just like a PhD in leadership development, right? Every single week. So we'd love to support you. You can learn more at betterleadersbetterschools.com/mastermind. And then the third thing is one-on-one coaching, right? There's a number of schools where I coach the principal one-on-one. There's fewer schools, but schools where I coach the principal one-on-one and then do some team coaching with their admin team and some coaching with assistant principals as well. There's no place to send you for that. You could just send me an email, Danny@betterleadersbetterschools.com if you want to explore. And so that's what's up, right? So if you want to build confidence walking into next school year, do the EPS journal. It's 90 seconds a day. Watch the words that you use so you stop self-sabotaging your confidence in real time in public, or even, I guess, if you're alone, right? And the steady stream of words that are coming through your head. And don't do it alone. Get connected. Hopefully with us, but definitely somewhere. You deserve it. When you get better, everyone wins. Bye for now, and go make a ruckus.